Free speech warrior Elon Musk bans Twitter account that tracked his private jet. A lot of people asked me to talk about this. I saw some comments. It is a weird one. We had
Jack Sweeney
on the show, and an unassuming character. You know, he came in here, seemed like a polite guy.
He didn't come in here, I don't think.
Well, he came on the show.
Yeah.
Didn't we have him on the show?
Yeah.
We had him on the show, Will.
Yeah, he was somewhere in the States.
Oh, wow. Look at that. The Onion is also cracking some Elon jokes. It's kind of Elon Musk receives experimental Neuralink implant in attempt to delete memory of being booed.
This picture.
Oh, man. It's very high resolution, that Photoshop work there.
Yeah.
You know what? It's pretty well done, actually.
From far away, it's not too bad.
I'm far away from the display,
yeah,
so maybe that's why it's so convincing to me.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, it's not convincing, but you understand what I mean.
Sure.
So anyway, he was, okay, when we had Jack Sweeney on the show, he was nervous or suspecting that he would be suspended. And I think we were talking about Elon buying Twitter even back then.
Yeah.
He, of course, told us about his messages back and forth with Elon and the offer to acquire his Twitter handle.
Yeah.
But wait, so Jack Sweeney, the Twitter account, is suspended, but is ElonJet
definitely suspended?
Also suspended. Right, okay. So he was worried about this, and then you heard everything about free speech, but obviously you have Twitter terms as well, and how you want to interpret those terms. And in this case, he was saying it was a threat to his safety.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw a clip recently of him arriving at an airport and saying, I'm not signing autographs anymore. I have reason to believe that I'm an assassination target and it's too dangerous. Elon, I'm saying.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, the risk is too great, and it's a conflicting one. It's a hard one because, yeah, I mean, obviously you have the free speech aspect, which he has talked so much about, but then you've also got the security risk involved. Over the weekend, Jack Sweeney, first-year student, University of Central Florida in Orlando, and the operator of the account claimed that an anonymous Twitter employee had told him the company had severely limited the visibility of ElonJet. So, shadow ban, basically. Beginning December 2nd, the reported move came roughly 4 weeks after Musk made a big deal about how he wouldn't ban ElonJet because of his commitment to free speech. My commitment to free speech extends even to not banning the account following my plane, even though that is a direct personal safety risk. Okay, so I didn't know he actually said that on November 6th that he wouldn't ban him. By Monday, Sweeney said that it looked like Twitter had reversed course and reinstated ElonJet's visibility. However, the company seems to have changed its mind again and taken an even more drastic move by early morning Wednesday when users noticed ElonJet was suspended. Will, we have to get Jack Sweeney back on here.
Yeah, I'll try to contact him. But last time it was through Twitter. Since he's banned, I don't know how to contact him. Maybe he can email us.
We don't have any email chain at any point?
Unfortunately.
How did he get on the show? Through Skype? You probably have his Skype still. Or was it through... He was here on video.
Yeah.
No, it was...
I might have his number. I don't know. I don't remember. I'll check my DMs and see.
What are the other video conferencing apps? Was it Zoom? Like, what was it?
No, we tried a different one. The one that he recommended. Because it was low.
So maybe his contact is still in there.
No noise.
Does anybody use Skype anymore? Like, not really. Hey, what happened with that?
It's usually Microsoft Teams, right?
Teams.
But Skype is like in other places in the world, right?
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
ICQ.
I try to stay off the video.
MSN
I try to
Messenger?
stay off the video conferences at all costs. You know this about me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like, it's all costs. If they're like, oh, you're gonna need to be on Zoom or something, I'm just like, please no.
Yeah, hit us up, Jack.
Okay, Jack Sweeney. Yes, Jack Sweeney, you definitely hit us up because we had talked about this possibility, and I would love to know what kind of indication. Like, was there a warning? Was there a particular tweet? What did Twitter make you aware of if anything at all, would like to hear. And maybe even he might even be able to tell us about some of the recent tweets, if maybe they were a bit different or maybe they were more detailed or whatever. He was really forthcoming in the initial interview.
Yeah. He was pretty transparent.
That's what I mean.
The planes transmit with their transponders all the information, and you don't need, if you're just in your local area, you don't even need a website. You could just have your own equipment to do it. But if you want it across the world, you got to get data from companies that are all receiving it across the world. So
he also explained how it worked and how he created this bot. But
we got to get the story from him. I find it to be very interesting. I just wonder. I mean, for those that don't know, there was a conversation about $5,000 to remove the account, and I think Sweeney countered with 50,000. He's like, this is my chance. This is my moment. Or a Tesla, right? Or a Tesla? No, an internship.
Yeah.
At Tesla.
Yeah.
Anyway, obviously he didn't get that, and then he got banned anyway. And let's hear from him. Let's try to get him on. We'll try to get him on.
All right. Did you want to talk about Elon being booed?
Well, I mean, look, that's got 6.1 million views, that clip right there. And I'm sure the clip itself has been reposted. It's probably got 20 million views total. All the places it's been reposted.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle brought him on stage at the end of a show in San Francisco. And the crowd boos him.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the take is there. I know people on Twitter essentially suggesting that he's getting a taste of how people feel about him on Twitter, but in real life. And there's no doubt that not everybody's a fan of his. Definitely not. I mean, you got maybe 20,000 people in there. And then Dave, I guess, who invited him, obviously, is kind of trying to make it comedic, as you would as a comedian. But the whole thing seems relatively uncomfortable. And Twitter had a field day with it. People on Twitter, they good on them. It's fuel to the fire. This is how this combat seems to take place. It's shots in this direction and back, and then you get this evidence of real life discomfort and booing, and it goes like wildfire.
Yeah.
The people love it. They love to see it. What can I say about it, Will?
I mean, I would consider this like payback, as a way of like embarrassing Elon on Twitter.
But there's no way that was Dave's intention. Like,
no,
they're legitimately
not at all.
friends.
No. But yeah, like you said, everyone who hates Elon just adds more fuel to the fire. Like, this is what happens, when you get too big and
it's almost
this stuff.
It's almost expected, right? I think the part that's a bit surprising is that the two of them thought, like, they seem surprised. They seem surprised by it, and no, maybe they had a conversation before, like, hey, we might be booze, okay, all right, and maybe everybody was cool with it. Like, I don't really know. And in the end, what does it really matter? Like, I guess it bruises the ego a little bit, but what is really the effect of it? I'm not sure. Maybe he moves out of San Francisco. This took place in San Francisco. He laid off a lot of people in San Francisco.
Yeah.
To be clear. And yeah.
Maybe they knew that this would happen,
It's all concocted, you're saying?
He decided to go out anyways.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know if he fancies himself comedic. I mean, he obviously posts funny memes and went on SNL. But it's a lot different when people came to see Dave Chappelle and then you walk on and there may or may not be crossover.
But dude, that's the nightmare.
Just getting booed by 20,000 people?
Yeah, the stadium crowd just booing you.
A lot of people, some of the takes that I read was he should have said something because he was uncomfortable, right? But it's so hard to say. I mean, it's so easy to say it from the sidelines after the fact. If you really aren't expecting it, I mean, he could have just turned around and walked away. But I don't. I think you say something. I think you say something. I don't know what you say, but I think you say something. I'm not sure what would overcome me in that moment, or yourself, or whatever. What you might be compelled to say, but I think I would probably make some noises. I would probably make some noises.
Animal noises?
I will probably say something.
Oh, okay.
I feel that I would, but I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't engage. Maybe you say something real quick.
Yeah.
Maybe you say something real quick.
Yeah. But even saying something, it's like while you're there, it's like it's just stunned. You know, it's hard to tell what to do.
Yeah, it's amazingly effective booing. Just loud, consistent booing. Just boo. You can't really get much done like that.
That's terrible.
It really drowns anything out. All you can really do is leave. Now that I think about it, and I think that's why the boo exists. Like, it's a performance thing, right? You have a stage, you have the audience. The audience has the right to boo, and the performer, which is what you're essentially being in that case. The performer is kind of at the whim of the audience to a certain extent. If they don't really want you there, it's a building full of 20,000 people and they can make enough noise. Now, I'm not saying everybody was making that noise, but it was enough noise. It's kind of democratic in a way. They voted. Nope, don't want to hear from you. Now, he had a microphone, so he could have combated, or he could have attempted.
Yeah.
Right? He could have attempted to charm them, as a comedian might do in a hostile environment. But it turns out that that's a real skill to that. And it probably often doesn't work, particularly when you're bringing that much baggage into it as far as people's perceptions of you.
For sure.
But that's it's their freedom of speech.
It was just so raw, that clip, you know, being the richest man in the world and kind of poking fun behind a screen. But it becomes real when, like, you're in front of 20,000 people. So,
Yeah. Well, I think you've just hit the nail there as far as, like, most people will never be in front of 20,000 people.
Yeah.
They'll never even have the opportunity to be booed.
So what would you do? Just like freeze.
It sounds weird, right?
Yeah.
It sounds weird. You would never think of it as an opportunity to be booed, but Dave Chappelle isn't inviting you on stage, or me.
Yeah. And people want to see Dave.
No, but what I'm trying to say here is that to be on the sidelines suggesting, you got what you deserved, it's like you're not even being invited. You're not even in the game. You're not even an important enough character to be booed in this, in these terms.
Yeah.
I'm putting myself in the same category.
Yeah.
Like, in a way, this guy is so polarizing at the moment. You know, it's like indifference is not a thing associated with him. It's like he's got people that practically worship him. And then on the other side, he's got people that despise him. Or I don't know if despise might be strong, but the equivalent of worship, but on the other end.
But also money plays a factor.
It's very Trump-like.
Because he's very, very rich.
It's Trump-like, though. It's Trump-like in a sense that it's all velocity. And we talked about this back when his tweets were tremendous in terms of velocity. It's that weird mix of being loved and hated that creates ultimate internet velocity. And then this balancing act of managing two groups of people, those that hate you and those that love you, but it eventually encompasses almost everyone that knows about you. And there's very few parties that can have that level of popularity and not have that type of setup amongst the user base.
Yeah.
Thumbs up, thumbs down, gladiator.